Well, joining us now on the broadcast is Ambika Shukla, Director, Sanjay Gandhi Animal Care Centre. Thank you very much, Ambika Shukla, for being with us today on Newsx. How do you view this order that has come out from the Supreme Court today?
Well, the very first feeling is relief that 10 lakh dogs or whatever figure was being quoted are not going to be jailed as per the original order, which was an extremely harsh, unthoughtful and unscientific order. It did not provide any solutions, and I'm glad that the Supreme Court in its wisdom has reversed that order, and from now on relocation is completely illegal as per the ABC rules. So we are grateful for that.
Yes, as far as of course now this entire matter is concerned, it has now been also urged by the Supreme Court that it becomes not just a case for Delhi-NCR, but a national policy as well. They've issued notices to all UTs, state governments and animal husbandry departments across the country. The matter is going to be heard again in 8 weeks' time from now. Do you also welcome that this will now be a pan-India policy, not just something for the Delhi-NCR region?
Well, we look forward to participating in the formulation of that policy. You know what has happened so far is that we have an excellent program, which is the Animal Birth Control Program. This is a WHO endorsed program as the only scientific and only proven way to curb dog numbers, curb biting and eliminate rabies. Now, the WHO is not an animal welfare organization. It is not even a veterinary organization. It is a human health organization. And when the Apex Human Health Organization certifies a program as being the only way forward, why would we look for anything else? Why would we not look at the experts? Now, where has the failure occurred? The program is excellent. So where did the failure occur in the implementation, and why? Let me explain this briefly. When you give a program to an agency, firstly, which is overworked, municipalities have hundreds of issues that beset them, whether it's potholes, whether it's flooding, whether it's over-construction. They have so many huge issues to tackle. They regard animals, it is not a priority for them. It is not even an area where they have any interest or expertise. They have no motivation, no willingness. The class 4 staff that are assigned to this part, the dog department, regard it as a punishment posting. So they have no motivation, no training, no knowledge and no interest in this area. Now, when you have staff with no motivation, training or interest, what will be the performance? Zero, which we have seen is zero. So instead, why not give the implementation to the one community who is interested in the solution, who is capable of executing the solution, and above all is willing and interested to achieve the results. We want to deliver a rabies-free India within a year or 2 years. We want to do that, and we are able to do that, and we must be allowed to do that. Okay. So involve us in the solution. Yes. Let us be part of your
now
program,
this sterilisation as well that will happen. This sterilisation
expertise.
As well that will happen, Ambika ji, for now, of all the stray dogs population across Delhi. Do you believe this should also happen now in a very systematic and organized manner?
Cut ho gaya. Cut ho gaya.
The sterilisation. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Are you able to hear me now?
I can't.
Okay. I think we've lost.
Hear you.
I think we've lost Ambika Shukla there. We'll just try and reconnect with her on this big story, because of course the verdict has come in from the Supreme Court today, and we are learning that of course the Supreme Court has stayed the earlier order by the Apex Court, where they directed that all dogs should be picked up and taken to shelters. They have now mandated that all dogs should be sterilised and released back into their territories, except for those with rabies and except for aggressive dogs. This, of course, is something that the Supreme Court now has mandated for Delhi-NCR. But this is also a policy which will soon apply post-India, pan-India is what the Supreme Court is saying. There are many other pending matters across different high courts of the country on the stray dogs. That is something the Supreme Court says now they will hear. They've directed all matters be transferred to them. Okay, Ambika Shukla, I believe you're back with us now. I was trying to ask you on the sterilisation because the sterilisation of dogs now has been mandated by the Supreme Court to happen over the next few days and weeks. Do you believe this should happen in an organized and systematic fashion? Would that be something you would urge the municipal authorities?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The success of the ABC program depends on it being systematically implemented. If you do it in a haphazard fashion, it doesn't work. If you do not keep records, if you do not pick up area-wise, if you do not return to the original locality, then the program will not work. So we need to be involved in this. This is why I am urging that animal welfare groups be involved in the implementation of the sterilisation and vaccination program, because we can be extremely effective in assuring correct, systematic and scientific implementation and successful implementation. That is what we want. We do not want this money to be wasted. We do not want the ABC program to be a waste of public funds. And we have seen that in the past. There has been corruption, there has been laziness, there has been inefficiency, because the department to which it was entrusted was not interested in doing a great job. There was no accountability, there was no monitoring. So let us do it in a systematic, efficient manner, and in a manner that is bound to succeed, or at least make all the conditions for its success.
Okay. Now, let me also ask you about this doubts that some people have on the definition of aggressive dogs. Is that something also you're concerned about? Because the Supreme Court, of course, has mandated that those dogs with rabies, those dogs with rabies and those that are aggressive dogs should not be returned back to their original territories.
Well, I'd like to point out a certain lack of science or perhaps knowledge about dogs that reflects in this part of the order. Firstly, a dog that is truly affected with rabies will die within a few days, 7 to 10 days. So there's no question of returning it. So there's no, that part of the order does not make sense. Secondly, I think what we should be spreading is awareness of how to identify symptoms of rabies. Barking is not a rabid dog. Running is not a rabid dog. Even biting is not a rabid dog. So we need to understand and spread some public awareness about what we are talking about. Secondly, I think even the courts need to understand what are the symptoms, because I think there is very little public awareness about animals. Unfortunately, not many people show the interest, time and effort, make the time, interest and effort to understand animal behavior and learn about the subject. Secondly, with regard to aggressive dogs, again, there is no such thing. A dog reflects the circumstances around him. A dog is a product of his circumstances. You treat a dog with kindness and love and give him food and water and cater to the basic necessities. There is no such thing as an aggressive dog. You tie up a dog constantly, you beat him, you threaten him, you starve him, you have produced a problem. So it is not that a dog is born aggressive or born non-aggressive any which way. It's like human beings. If you treat a person well, they educate a person, give them the right circumstances, they turn out.
But Ambika Shukla, there people may differ with you. Yes, your point of course taken that you can't categorize a dog that is barking or a dog that is running as aggressive. But if a dog has indeed bitten a few people, then there would be those who would argue that perhaps that would come in the ambit of an aggressive dog.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.